take your new rig from this to this and get it ready for this. Bring it to the experts at 4-Wheel Parts, where we'll transform your Bronco with the all-new line of 4WP factory accessories. Whether you want to order the best parts online, shop in store, do the work yourself, or have it built by a pro, all trails lead to the truck, Jeep, or Bronco of your dreams, because nobody knows off-road like 4-Wheel Parts. Do your Bronco right.
Mark, why does the Growers Company buy Ford? Is there any particular reason for that?
Yes, we do, because we depend on a good product, and Ford has been good to us in the past. We put a lot of miles on our vehicles, and they hold up for us, Joe.
And it was a long time ago, Mark, but you're still buying Ford trucks from Alexander Ford.
We sure do, and we get the same great service even today at Alexander Ford.
Alexander Ford. We were here for you then, here for you now, and long into the future. A difference you can count on.
Wheels for those who don't stall, sputter, or split the difference. Proven to get you where you need to be and take you where you never thought you'd go. Your path is fierce and turbulent, but you are made for this journey. KMC is made for this journey.
Over 25 years of off-road racing dominance. Proprietary patented race technology. Proudly made in the USA. Unparalleled customer service and support. The choice of champions. King Shocks. The leader in off-road shock technology.
All right, guys, we are back once again here on Fishgistics with your coverage of the Baja 400, the second annual. Brought to you guys all day today by F&L Racing Fuel and presented by KMC Wheels. We are back. So it is now 5:03, not quite 6 yet, 5:03, and we have some cars getting close to the finish. If you're just joining us earlier, the 5X was the first bike to the finish. I think it was the 5A quad or the 1A quad. I don't remember. Maybe the 1A. And then the 22X was the second bike. And we have not had a car finish yet, but we are getting close. You can see if we bring up the tracker here. Let's see. This is where the log jam was. There was a big, just talking real quick about this log jam. There was a big log jam here. We're not exactly sure what caused it. It was around mile 203 or so. But you can see now some cars are starting to get through. It was back here. The big log jam was at 203, and all of these cars were stacked up. There was like 30 cars stacked up at one point behind it. Now they are all moving. So there's a whole nother race with all these guys in each other's dust now who got through it. So definitely be interesting to see. I wouldn't want to be one of these cars because you basically are just going to be in dust for the rest of the way now. It's not a great situation to be in, that's for sure. But let's go look at the front. We got to zoom over. Let's zoom up here. We're getting in with the bikes. So here, I'm going to take some of these. We need to just show the trophy trucks for a minute here. Get the bikes out of the way for a minute. All right. Number 7, Bryce Menzies. That is your race leader. He's been out front all day, still out front. Luke McMillan. Right here at Santo Tomas, where they come off the highway, Bryce Menzies had a 5 minute and 30-second physical lead on Luke McMillan. Then Luke McMillan was second, and then Rob McCachran was the third car through there. Rob was 14 minutes and 30 seconds behind the number 7. And then the number 2, I think, was 3 minutes behind him, if I heard it right. So probably about 17 minutes behind Bryce Menzies or so. So it's the 7, the 1, the 11, the 22, and then looks like the 21 is going to be next through there. That's Tavo. And then the 23, Dan McMillan, who is currently battling Tavo for that coveted 5th spot, and then he could work his way up to the 4th spot after there. The Jonathan Brenthal truck is behind him, and then Cameron Steele is in the 16 now. Ryan Arciero is out, and Cameron Steele is in to drive the second half of the race here. So that's what's going on in the front of the trophy truck class. If you missed it earlier, Andy McMillan had a big crash off the side of the road on the crossover road. Down here, you can see he's at 0 miles an hour. He is out of the race. Robbie Gordon has been stopping every couple minutes, it seems like, the last few miles. First time he stopped, it looked like he was messing with the alternator or something behind the motor or something behind there. Then we got a picture. They were actually dumping coolers on it to try and cool it off. So I'm going to assume that the truck was overheating probably. He was trying to get some water on the radiator, it looked like, to try and cool it down. So that was that's what's going on with Robbie. But he is moving again now. You can see he's at 30 miles an hour now. So Robbie Gordon back going again and moving. So very good there. Who else? Shane Redline. All right, so this is actually Travis Clark in here now. This is Travis Clark's first time driving a trophy truck in a race. Shane's first time driving a trophy truck too. Travis actually got to get in, so that's good. I don't know how many body panels that truck has left on it, but he's in the race, so that's all that matters. Then we have the 29 Maddox Bailey, Felix Murillo. I'm not sure who this is. I've never heard of him before, so that's a new driver right there in the 96. And then Raul Gomez in the number 90 is in there. And someone says the number 10 tracker is not updating. Yeah, the 10 and the 12 haven't been updating all day. So the 10 is, well, here you go. The 10 just updated right now. So the 10 is up here. So it's going to be the 11 in third. And then fourth is going to be Jax. Fifth, it looks like it's Alan Impudia. His tracker just updated. And then we have the 21, Tavo, and the 23, Dan McMillan. So there you go. That one just updated. That tracker's been weird all day. So if you're looking for them and they're not on there, just wait a little bit. Maybe it'll work again. Here's the 12, actually. Look at the 12 just works right now also. So the 12 is not up in the front anymore. They are way back. They are back over here around mile 210 or something like that. And the 14 is back there. We got another bottleneck here. Let's see. Yep. So look at all these cars got out. Polvardi has been stopped here for a while. So it looks like the 1028 is now stuck. Bobby Picoy is now stuck. So brand new bottleneck. All these cars, they just left the other bottleneck, literally right over here by the 1027. And they made it to right here. And now they're in a new bottleneck. The 26, Dave Taylor, went off the side of the road right here earlier. We haven't heard any updates on them. Their tracker hasn't worked in a long time. But they went off the side of the road there, and they were broken or stuck off the side of the road. Christopher Polvardi, he's been down for a long time, but it looks like he just got going again. So that's good news. And hopefully the 1028 can get going again and get out of this bottleneck here. 703 might actually be in a second bottleneck, or this is a big hill, and they are waiting at the bottom of the hill right there. So it could be one of those. Somebody says number 96 is from La Paz. Okay, very cool. Cool to see some of the Baja Sur guys getting their trophy trucks and coming up here and racing the northern races. I know a lot of them do the Dos Maris race and some of the other series down there. So pretty cool to see some guys from La Paz stepping it up and coming up here to play with all the big boys. So very cool to see. Thanks for that update also. Now let's see some of the other classes. The biggest class we have today is the UTV Force Induction. Well, in UTVs at least. So let's go look at the bottom. We had Austin Weiland leading. He's still leading. He's right there. So we have 29.54, Mark Brunette. And then Phil Blurton. Look at Phil Blurton. He's been picking up the pace all day. This guy is making up time. Every time we do a new update, Phil Blurton is a little bit closer to the front, and no exception right here. He's definitely picked up some more time. He, where did Phil Blurton? Let's see if I can pull up. I have to pull up on my other computer here. Get it back on. Let's see if I want to see where Phil Blurton started because Austin Weiland started pretty far in the back. Let's see if we can find where did Phil Blurton start. If anybody knows before I can find it here, let me know. Phil Blurton started. Okay, Austin Weiland. Phil Blurton started pretty far in the front, actually. It looks like, or is he even on the entry list? I don't even see him on here. Where did he start? Okay, Phil Blurton is not on my entry list. So if anybody knows where he started, actually I do. I have another list. Hang on, we got to pull up the other list here. Thanks to Nate. Let's see. We got another list. Where is Phil Blurton? Is the 2944. I'm going to assume he started. He did. He started second to last in his class. So he's the 2944. Austin Weiland is the 2954. He started, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots. So 6 spots at 30 seconds is 3 minutes. So Phil Blurton started 3 minutes behind Austin Weiland in the 2954. So that, remember that 3 minutes later, because if it stays this close, he might be within 3 minutes of him right here. So he might actually be beating him. on time. So we will have to keep an eye on them and do some more times at the finish. But very good race going on in the front of the Pro UTV class right here, forced induction. Looking at the naturally aspirated UTVs, if we load them, they're back a little bit farther here. Oh, Caden Wells. Okay, so Caden Wells. Wow, here we go. Turn of events. Caden Wells was running fourth actually overall. He was up with those guys. He got stuck in this bottleneck, it looks like, and those guys did not. So look at how far back a bottleneck put him. The good news for him is he's not racing those guys. He's racing these guys in his class and girls. Kristen Matlock right here is in second. But Kristen Matlock just made up all that time that Caden Wells had, and she's now just sitting right behind him. You can see the 1957 is coming. If they stay sitting there, he's going to get all the time back too. So it's good. It's always an advantage to start out front, but as soon as there's a bottleneck and you get caught in it, the advantage goes to the people who started in the back because they just caught right up in that bottleneck and all that advantage is gone. Sure, there's still a couple cars in between them physically, but the big time gap that Caden Wells had earlier, completely gone. Doesn't matter now. So from this point in the race, at mile 220, whatever they're at, 204, it's going to be a whole new race right here. So definitely interesting dynamics during a Baja race. You didn't really see that on a road race too much. I mean, you do with yellow flags, but it's a little bit more dramatic here. You can he had a 30-mile lead and it was just erased like it was nothing because of a bottleneck. So definitely, it's never over till it's over in Baja. The Pro UTV class, let's see if we can turn them on here. Justin Ellenberg, okay, so same thing. He's stuck in the bottleneck. Same thing, in the bottleneck. He has a huge lead over Wayne Matlock here in the 1871, but depending on how long this bottleneck stays there, his lead might dwindle if Matlock can keep going. The other Pro UTV Open is not moving, and this one is moving at 12 miles an hour. So not a really great race, honestly, in the Pro UTV Open class today. Pretty spread out, only a few entries. Not super exciting in that class. The Pro Stock UTV class had 5 also, but very spread out. Mike Caffro is also stuck in the bottleneck. The 3950 Scott Trafton is closing in. He's moving, and the first place car is not. So every second he is moving. Let's see. Well, that's pretty much all those classes. Let's look at class 11. We always got to check on them and see if they're moving. Okay, good news. The 1196 is still moving. They are doing 14 miles an hour. Alex Gonzalez. So the first 11 car is actually going to start catching up to these guys in the bottleneck who are just right up here pretty quick. So that 11 car looking good. The other 11 cars are moving also. They're quite a ways back. And honestly, these guys are going to have to start picking up the pace if they're going to make the time limit. We got the 1100 and the 1111. They are only at about mile 115. You do have 20 hours to finish this race, I believe, is a time limit. So they have a long time. If they started at 11 o'clock today, they have until about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning to finish. So they got a long time, but they're not only 100 miles in the race. They're about 25% done, and they're over 25% of their time already. So they're going to have to pick it up if they're going to have a chance to finish within the time limit. And can you do the Pro Trucks? Yeah, I wish. Pro Trucks were fun. That was always a really fun class. Looking at class 10, they have a lot of entries also. We can go look at the front. I don't know if Freddie Willard is tracking. It doesn't look like it. So Matt Winslow is showing on the tracker as in first. We don't know where Willard is though. Ethan Hagel's going to be second, and then we got a whole bunch right here. This is good racing right here. We got Bruce Yee. Look at this right there. Alberto right behind him, and then we have Haram right behind him. So pretty good racing for the, what is that, 3rd through 5th? Yeah, potential 3rd through 5th, depending on where the Willard car is. Their tracker has not been working all day today, so keep that in mind when you guys are looking at class 10. The other class 1s, let's see, what do we got going on in class 1? We got to scroll it up a bit. All right, Cody Parkhouse is leading in class 1. He's going to be your leader. He's been leading all day pretty much. So Cody Parkhouse, and then Brandon Gahn is in second. I think he might have been in third last update. He's up to second. Now, where are the other, let's see, where are the other 1 cars at? They're mixed in with the 10s here. Those are all 10s. 10s right here. Okay, here's the other ones. So 168, Shelby Reed is going to be in third. And then Mason Cullen, it looks like he's actually on a road now. He was stopped earlier, so it looks like they were able to get him towed back to the pit. Mason Cullen was up in this area and he had some problems, so it looks like they were able to get him out an access road. They're going to have to work on that car for a little while there to see see if they can get it going again. Class 7 is right here, so we can do that. It'll show us both Class 7s. All right, the leader in Class 7 is Scott Brady, but he's in that bottleneck. He's stuck in the bottleneck at mile 203 or 204. 714, Justin Park is coming to the bottleneck. Arturo is coming to the bottleneck. They're going to be in it very shortly. Brandon Walsh is still a little ways to go till the bottleneck. And then down here, the 744, still a little ways to go. So once again, all these guys are going to be in that bottleneck very soon. This gap in between them is going to be gone. It won't even matter in a second here. You can see if we watch, we'll try and zoom in really close here for you guys. Let's get the screen big. Look at how many cars are in this bottleneck now. All right, that's as far as we can possibly zoom in. So you have Bobby Picoy's moving. Okay, these are moving. Gary Magnus is moving. That's the Mango entry. They're moving. 29 is moving. Okay, so 703. Okay, I know what they're doing right here. I think this is a hill, and they're waiting their turn to go up the hill one at a time. So you can see the 2949 is actually going up the hill right now. I bet you that the 703 is going to start moving in a second, and then Dan Shamley will also. So look at that. We have the 703 and the 700 in a row in the same class with no advantage to either car anymore. They're both right there. So definitely stacked back up in Class 7. Brandon Schuler, that is the entry that Rob McCachran's kid, Caden, is driving with. They're stuck in that bottleneck also. And see, there you go. Look at that. They just went up. So you can see they just 2919 just went through it. So that's exactly what's going on here. These cars are going one at a time. So now it's the 229's turn, and then so on from there. So they're just working their way up the hill. Good news is it looks like the bottleneck is cleared. How long till we get another one? That's the question now. All these guys are moving though, so that's good. All right. What else did you guys want? What are the Wilsons racing? The Wilsons are still racing their Class 1 cars, but they are not doing this race. They are trying to come back and be at the Baja 1000. So we should have 2, maybe 3 sometimes. You never know with the Wilsons. They will be back in Class 1 at the Baja 1000. They should call it Yellow Flag Hill or Mandatory Caution. Yeah, seriously. Where do the speed zones start going into the finish? That is a good question because it's different than coming out. I don't exactly know where the speed zone starts without looking at the other map, which I can do right now. Hang on one second, which is very much important at the end of the race because the speed zone basically determines when the race is over. So end speed zone 12. All right, we're looking right now. So somewhere around here, I'm looking on my other Google map here. VCP, where is the speed zone? All right, speed zone still looking. Okay, right here, I think. No, that's not it. They actually race pretty far into the finish, it looks like. End speed zone, right there. Okay, so it actually starts right past mile 395, basically, is what it looks like, which I think is going to be around, yeah, right around here. So see right where this car is, the 129, that looks like it's going to be speed zone 13, which is 37 miles an hour. Right there is where it starts. I'm coming back in, and I'm scrolling back on my map here just to make sure so you guys know. So yeah, once the cars hit there, the race is over basically. And it looks like, yeah, that's it right there. So coming back in, you have until right about mile 395, right around here where the speed zone starts. So they get to race all the way back to there coming in, which is definitely going to come into play with these guys because they are all so close together here. Looking back at the front, let me just we'll do this, check this one more time, and then we're done with this update here. We'll go live at the finish for you guys. I think it's going to be before, it might be before 6. It's going to be really, really close to 6 o'clock actually, probably right at 6. So you can see Bryce Menzies is first, Luke McMillan second, Rob McCachran third, Jax Redline fourth. Those are all correct positions. They match our splits. Then it's actually, I think, the 23 or the 21, and then you have the 10, the 27, the 16, 19. They're all stacked up right there. So who's in the lead for Spec. It was Jason McNeil is in the lead for Spec. We just looked at that a minute ago with the Alexander Ford truck right behind him. That was it. So here, I'll show you the Spec one more time just because we're right here. And, well, it was right here. Where is it? There it is. All right, one last look at the Spec one for this update. So we have Jason McNeil in first, just ahead of Ryan Hancock, just ahead of Elijah Kiger, just ahead of Justin Davis, Jeff Bader. Very close race in the Spec truck. Let me look at that. Only a couple miles. Then you have Clay Lawrence and Ray Griffith in there. Yeah, Bryce Swain. That's the new Thunderstruck Motorsports. They took a year and a half off or so, and they're back. So good to see them back out racing in a brand new truck. If you didn't see their video, it's actually really funny. John Vance did a really good job on the video. He's got a couple good lines in there. The 200, Andrew Myers, Toyota Escondido, Vincent Munoz, old 1450 racer. Good to see him having another good run. Tim Wilson, Joe. Yeah, look at that. I mean, there's 10 plus cars, more than 10 cars, dozen cars right there that are all within 20 miles of each other. So very good race going on in the Spec truck class. That's very fun. All right. Well, I think that does it for this update. We will be back at 6 o'clock. If they are going to finish sooner, I will go live sooner. So the latest we'll be going live is 6. If they are going to finish before then, I will go live to try and show you guys the finish. Score has the live feed at the finish. They assured me they're going to have the camera working at the finish this time, so we should be able to get some split times. As of right now, it's not even close, honestly. There's nobody... you know, Bryce just has to finish a minute ahead of Luke right now. Andy's out. He was one coming from the back. Justin Lofton is too far back to consider. Actually, the 16 of Cameron Steele, he might be kind of close there. He's got to be within 14 minutes or 13 minutes or something. So we'll keep an eye. We'll know better next race when they get a little closer. All right. We'll see you guys back here at 6 o'clock, and be sure to watch Trail Emissions tomorrow.
After a year off, the Desert Assassins are back in Baja. Tune in to ESPN2 Sunday, September 19th, and check out the Monster Energy Trail Emissions presented by BF Goodrich Tires.